What are you doing? I'm a fish seller. Ding Xianbo, the fishmonger, went to the wholesale market. This is not a place for you. Master Ding, please take a look first. Where did you get this? I caught it myself. Nonsense. This fish has been out of stock for 10 years. There isn't a single supplier in the whole province. Who can get live ones? The last time I saw one was in 2013. A frozen one sold for 8,000 yuan. Where did you get a live one? Master Ding, the channels are my trade secret. You just need to tell me. If you'll take this fish. Master Ding stared at me for 5 seconds, then turned and went into the kitchen. 10 minutes later, he came out, holding a white porcelain plate. On the plate was a small slice of freshly cut fish. The sashimi is crystal clear. I just tasted it. Its texture is firm, like jade, sweet aftertaste. This is a lost, top-tier ingredient. Man, name your price. 3,000 per gene. Long-term contract. Exclusive supply. I'll sign for 2,500 right now. 3,000, not a penny less. You're a master in your field. I'm not just messing around in mine either. 3,000 it is. Wait here, I'll get the contract. 123 gene of golden scale fish, 3,100 gene, a total of 369,000 yuan. After deducting fuel, bait, and equipment depreciation, the net profit exceeded 300,000. Zhao Chang's 8 boats fishing offshore for a month. At its best, he only earned this much. My first pot of gold. I stood in the back alley of Jushan Tower, fold the contract, and put it in a waterproof bag. Keep it close to you. A message popped up on my phone. It was from Zhao Chang's Moments. He posted a picture of a table full of seafood. The caption read, Coastal Overlord, abundant harvest every year. Someone named Bulo who commented, Brother Zhao, you're mighty. Ague commented that Brother Zhao is the goat. I turned off my phone, started the van, and drove back to the port. It was the most peaceful night's sleep I've ever had. Over the next 3 months, I made 11 trips to the Black Pepper Trench, returning with a full load every time. The steamed golden scaled fish at Jushan restaurant was an instant hit. One portion sells for 6,800. You need to book 3 days in advance. The Provincial TV's food show came to film a special episode. When Master Ding was on camera, teared up and said, I've been looking for this fish for 10 years. Finally, someone brought it back to me. The night the show aired, my phone was ringing off the hook. 3 5-star hotels, 2 Japanese restaurant chains, and a high-end private kitchen that flew in from Shanghai. The owners all wanted to place orders, but I didn't agree to any of them. I signed an exclusive agreement with Juxinlu. I'm not the kind of person who forgets loyalty for profit. Master Ding gave me an additional 20% premium. He also introduced me to a fleet specializing in high-end cold chain transportation. I used the money I earned to do 3 things. I bought a new boat. I installed 2 large-capacity live bait tanks on the diesel engine. And I welded a set of reinforced wave-breaking guardrails onto the boat. The wave breaker went from scrap to the most agile hunter in the Black Reef Trench. Every time I go out to sea, I strictly adhere to one principle. Only catch adult fish over 1 kilogram. I release all the small ones back. Golden scale fish have a long breeding cycle. The population in the vortex zone is limited. I can't do what Zhao Chang does with those destructive nets. My bank balance went from 230,000 to 800,000. Then from 800,000 to 1.5 million. During this time, Zhao Chang had no idea what I was doing. He was still running his usual routes in Jinghai. On social media, he was still posting pictures of seafood and gold watches every day, and his 8 boats. Once, at a small shop by the dock, I went to buy mineral water, and ran into Ague. Ague looked me up and down. Lin Hai isn't dead yet? How's it going over at the Black Sea Trench? Did you find any treasures? No, just worthless small fry. I knew it. That place is so bad, even sea ghosts wouldn't go there. You should come back and work with Brother Zhao. Brother Zhao is generous this year. He might even give you an extra 20,000. We'll see. I unscrewed my water bottle, and took a couple of gulps before leaving. That night, I returned to my rented room. Open the laptop. I checked this month's statement for Jushan Tower. The loan for Guangjinlin fish is 720,000. Close the computer. Turn off the lights too. In the dark, I opened that greasy, yellowed notebook. I touched the last line on page 372. At a depth of 82 meters in the northeast corner of the vortex zone. Suspected golden scale fish spawning ground, pending verification. These words. I wrote them 10 years ago when I first passed by the outer edge of Black Reef Trench with Zhao Chang. 10 years, over 1,000 days and nights of records. Calculating and verifying it. Zhao Chang said, I'm just a lucky fisherman. Fine, then I'll show him what luck really looks like. The turn came faster than I expected. After autumn set in, there were fewer and fewer fish in the coastal waters. Zhao Chang's 8 boats went from full holds every day to half holds, then to 1/3. On the worst day, The flagship Sea Overlord Hull sailed for 14 hours, and came back with less than half a ton of mixed fish, and more than half of them are gobies that don't fetch a good price. The reason is simple. Years of destructive fishing. The offshore fishery resources have been scraped clean. Small meshed bottom trawlers catch all the fry and juvenile shrimp. They even leave no breeding stock behind. Nature is not an ATM. You've drained all your savings. He won't play with you anymore. Director, you made a move. Director Wang is a tough character. He transferred from the military. He gets things done. He slammed the table at the citywide fisheries conference. The coastal ecosystem is on the verge of collapse. Starting next month, a strict ecological fishing ban rotation system will be implemented. Any bottom trawling gear with a mesh size smaller than 40 millimeters will result in the seizure of the vessel, a fine, and the revocation of the license. Zhao Chang couldn't sit still. 6 of his 8 boats used small mesh bottom trawls. Those were his lifeblood. The smaller the mesh, the more shrimp are caught. Production went up. Profits will go up. After the meeting, Zhao Chang went to Director Wang's office. Director Wang, our dock these years, has relied entirely on the sea. If they use illegal nets, what will hundreds of our brothers eat? What will they eat? Tell me. When all the fish are gone, what will your hundreds of brothers eat? We can negotiate. Start from other areas. No negotiation. The ban takes effect next week. Anyone who violates it will be dealt with by me. Boss Zhao, if you really want to transform, you can go into deep-sea longline fishing, fishing licenses and subsidies. Deep sea. My boats are all inshore trawlers. It costs hundreds of thousands to refit one. I'd go bankrupt if I refitted all 8. That's your problem. Meeting adjourned. Zhao Chang walked out of the Fishery Administration building with a grim face. Ah Gue picked him up and whispered, "If you're caught poaching, it's a 500,000 fine, and your boat's impounded for 3 months. Are you out of your mind?" Zhao Chang slammed his fist on the steering wheel. It wasn't that he hadn't considered deep-sea fishing, but what does deep-sea operations require? It requires skilled personnel who understand ocean currents, topography, and fish behavior. It requires the solid skills to precisely locate fish schools in complex sea conditions, avoid hidden reefs, and predict the weather. The person who could provide those things for his 3 million yuan import, the one who could do it, was sent packing by him with 100,000 yuan half a year ago. Zhao Chang leaned back in his leather seat, feeling for the first time that the cigar in his mouth had lost its flavor. Meanwhile, I was in the kitchen of the Jushan restaurant, watching Master Ding slice a golden scale fish into sashimi as thin as cicada wings, arranged in the shape of a peony. Master Ding didn't even look up. "Shaolin, can you increase your output a bit? The customers waiting for orders are already booked for next month. I can't increase it. The golden scale fish population is limited. I have to control the catch, otherwise, we'll run out in 2 or 3 years. If it were anyone else, kid, they'd be fishing like crazy already." "Fine, limited if you must. I'll just raise the unit price for you. It's a limited edition, after all. The scarcer it is, the more it costs." As I was leaving Jushan restaurant, I received a bank notification on my phone. It said I had received 910,000 yuan this month. I stood on the street and read the message twice. Then I called my mom. "Mom, I'll be back in a couple of days. I'll install an air conditioner for you." "Install what air conditioner? A fan is enough. You can't save much money fishing outside. Don't spend it carelessly, Mom. Your son isn't short of money now." "You're lying to me again. Your brother Zhao Chang only gave you 100,000. How much could you save?" Nature's backlash. It was harsher than anyone expected. After winter set in, the inshore fishing grounds yielded almost nothing. 3 of Zhao Chang's 8 boats were docked, gathering dust. With no fish to catch, each trip out to sea resulted in a 20,000 yuan loss just for fuel. Only 5 left, barely within the permitted area, trawling with large mesh nets. What they pulled up were all small, finger-sized fish. At the wholesale market, no one wanted them even for 3 yuan a jean. His financial chain began to collapse. Maintenance fees for 8 boats, cruise salaries, docking fees. Monthly fixed expenses exceed 400,000, but the income is only 1/10 of its peak. What's worse are the contracts. Last year, Zhao Chang signed several large supply agreements to 3 hotel chains and a large supermarket to provide high-quality seafood. At that time, he guaranteed a minimum monthly supply of no less than 20 tons of quality fish and shrimp. The penalty for breach of contract was 3 times the contract amount. He thought at the time, it's a surefire deal. There are so many fish near the shore. What's 20 tons? Now 20 tons has become a mountain, weighing on him. He can't just sit there and wait to die. Old Chen, please talk to the higher-ups for me. Ask for another month. I will definitely replenish the stock within a month. Brother Zhao, it's not that I don't want to help you. Headquarters is already initiating legal proceedings. As a procurement manager, I can't stop it. Then can we reduce the quantity first? I really can't supply 20 tons, but 8 or 10 tons. Brother Zhao, listen to me. It's not just that you can't supply it. Now the offshore goods are getting worse day by day. If you can't supply it, neither can anyone else. Our hotel has already cut half of its seafood dishes. The higher-ups mean that, instead of holding on to a bunch of breach of contract, it's better to cut losses early and control the damage. Try this new arrival. What kind of fish? Golden scale fish. It's the hottest ingredient in the province's catering industry. Juxinlu was the first to use it. We put in a lot of effort. I just got a little bit of stock from a secondary channel. It's a deep-sea wild fish. It's golden when it's out of the water. I heard this kind of golden carp can sell for over 10,000 each. We make it into sashimi and sell a small plate for 3,800. Customers are rushing to book this dish now. Over 10,000 apiece. Who's the supplier? I'm not entirely sure. I heard it's some young guy. He's got just one small boat. He specializes in running the Hailua sea pits. What was his name again? Right, Brother Zhao from Linhai. You're all sailors. You should know each other, right? Who are you talking about, Lu Hai? What about him? His entire cargo isn't worth that much. Brother Zhao. Brother Zhao, are you alright? Get lost. Shut up. The storm came in mid-December. That morning, the sea was unusually calm. There was no wind, no waves. The air was thick and sticky. The sky was low, with grayish-white clouds pressing down on the sea. The fishing boats in the harbor lay motionless on the calm water. Like a painting, I squatted on the dock. I dipped a finger in the seawater and put it on my tongue. It was too bland. The salinity near the coast shouldn't be this low. A large amount of fresh water was pouring down from the sky. A typhoon or strong cold wind was approaching. The peripheral downpour had already passed in the distance. I looked up at the barometer reading. In the past 6 hours, it had dropped 12 hectopascals. This rate of descent meant it wasn't just ordinary cold air, it's an explosive cyclone. The weather forecast says it will be overcast turning cloudy from today to tomorrow, but the weather forecast's data collection has a 6 to 8 hour lag. By the time the official warning is issued, the ships will already be at sea. I'm calling a few independent captains I know. I sent a message. Don't go out to sea today. 2 people returned from the big storm. Got it. The others didn't reply. Zhao Chang also went out to sea today. His 5 boats left before dawn. The reason is simple. It's the end of the month. The deadline for those supply contracts. If we don't deliver, the breach of contract clauses will take effect. Zhao Chang has placed all his bets on this final run. He organized the 5 ships into a fleet and sent them all out. Get as much as you can. I saw the message Ague sent in the group chat. I saw it. Brother Zhao said, we're not returning to port until we're full today. The weather forecast said it's fine. At 2 p.m., the wind will be here, and it's not a level 4. It was over level 8. In just 10 minutes, the calm sea turned into a raging one. Waves surged from 1 meter to 4, 6, then 8 meters. On the harbor's breakwater, the sea churned. A row of foam buoys docked at the pier were mostly swept away by the waves. The weather forecast is only updating now. Emergency notice. Due to an explosive cyclone, offshore winds will reach force 9 to 10. All fishing boats must return to port immediately for shelter. The port's alarm has sounded. Director Wang is personally overseeing the Maritime Patrol Center. Zhao Chang's 5 boats, V5, are trapped 30 nautical miles offshore, V5. The radio is full of chaotic distress calls. Reporting to Command Center. Sea Shark 3's propeller is tangled in a fishing net. It has lost power. Sea Shark 5 has collided with the Sea Overlord. Damage to the port side. Mayday, mayday, man overboard. How could this happen? The forecast said it would be fine. Mr. Zhao, now is not the time to question the forecast. Slow down and turn around. We can't turn back. If we turn back, it'll be an empty ship. We'll have to go back for those contracts. We can't worry about contracts now. It's too dangerous to keep going. He huddled in the corner. For the first time, he knew what fear was, for Coast Guard ships have gone out, risking everything to get close in force 10 gales. Zhao Chang's fleet spent a full 5 hours to safely evacuate all the crew members. Zhao Chang was the last one to be rescued. When he was carried onto the patrol boat, he was shivering all over, his lips blue and purple. He can't even say a complete sentence. 3 boats have been salvaged. The other 2 were severely flooded and sank on the shallow beach offshore. the affiliated insurance company is already calculating the preliminary estimate of the damage. The loss of hull and equipment exceeds 4 million, plus the penalty for breach of contract, plus fixed expenses during the shutdown period. Zhao Cheng's books are already in the negative. Sitting on the cement ground at the Maritime Patrol dock, wrapped in a survival blanket, hair stuck to his forehead, didn't say a word. Among the crew members rescued with him was Old Hu. Old Hu paused as he passed by me, gave me a look, and seemed to want to say something. In the end, he left without saying a word. I didn't say anything either. I hadn't gone out to sea that day. It's not because I'm afraid, but because 6 hours before the storm hit, I had already foreseen it. 3 days after the storm, bad news came one after another for Zhao Cheng. Those 3 hotel chains all sent lawyers letters at the same time. Severe supply shortages for 2 consecutive months officially triggered the default clause, a penalty of 3 times the amount, a total of 2.7 million. Zhao Cheng tore up the lawyer's letter. He scattered the pieces all over the floor. It was useless. The next day, the court summons arrived. He started frantically calling around to borrow money. He called all his relatives and friends. Those who could lend had already done so last month. Gue came up with an idea. Brother Zhao, why don't you sell the Sea Overlord? Even though the boat crashed, the keel is still intact. After repairs, it could sell for over $1 million. If you sell me, what will I have left to turn my life around? Then how about we go find the source of those golden scale fish? The seafood with the highest profit margin on the market right now is that one. If we can get connected, we can recover our losses in a month. Zhao Cheng fell silent. Of course he knows. The purchasing manager of Jushan Restaurant. After that time, he searched for the words golden scale fish online at least 100 times. The provincial station's food show, he watched it repeatedly 3 times. Every time he watched it, it felt like a punch to the chest. After digging around for a while, Gue ran back and said, Brother Zhao, I've found out. The boss of that Jinling fleet rarely shows his face. But every month, a shipment goes through the Wild Ferry at the East Pier. The next batch is tomorrow morning. I'll go myself tomorrow, at 5 a.m. the next day. Zhao Cheng squatted under the streetlight at East Pier. He waited for nearly an hour in the cold wind. At 5:40, a refrigerated logistics truck drove over along the coastal road. There were no logos on the truck, but Zhao Cheng noticed a small flag hanging behind the cab, with a golden fish scale pattern. The vehicle stopped at the ferry crossing. The door opened, and the first ones to step out were 2 workers, wearing matching dark blue waterproof uniforms. Moving quickly, they ran toward a boat at the pier, ready to unload the livewell. Then, the driver's side door opened. A person dressed in a clean, black windbreaker hopped out of the vehicle, standing tall, with a steady gait. Zhao Cheng froze completely. Lin Hai is Lin Hai. Lin Hai? Brother Zhao, you are that Jinling ship teams. Lin Zibu, Brother Hai, you listen to me. I know I was wrong before. But now we can totally cooperate. I'll provide the boat, you provide the skills. We'll split the profits. 50-50, right? Or 60-40, you get 60, I get 40. Brother Hai, name your price. I'll agree to any terms, as long as you take me into the Hulua Trench, as long as you're willing to teach me how to find the Jinling fish. If you want money, I'll go borrow it. If you want a ship, I'll give you the Sea Overlord. I'm begging you. Zhao Cheng, don't you get it yet? Ships can be bought. You can buy sonar, you can buy channels, but the ocean will not bow to capital. This ocean only welcomes those who respect it. After saying that, I turned and got into the driver's seat. The refrigerated truck started, and slowly drove out of the ferry terminal. In the rearview mirror, Zhao Cheng was kneeling, sinking into the cold, wet sand by the dock. His mouth was opening and closing. I don't know what he was saying, but I couldn't hear him anymore. The roar of the engine drowned out all his sounds. Zhao Cheng's last ship, the Sea Overlord, was forcibly auctioned off by the court on the 23rd day of the 12th lunar month, along with his 3 million yuan worth of imported fishing gear, a complete set of trawling equipment, and the right to use the dock berth. It was all sold for less than 2 million yuan. It wasn't even enough to cover the liquidated damages. The day he signed over at the dock, I didn't go to sea, but Old Hu came to see me once. Hi Ge, I came to apologize. There's nothing to apologize for, Old Hu. You're just working to earn money for your family. Boss Zhao is in a pretty bad way now. He mortgaged his house, sold his car, and found a job at the sorting plant, at the southern dock. He sits on the assembly line sorting frozen shrimp all day. He earns 3,500 a month. He sent word a few days ago that he wants to see you. No. It's not resentment, I just have nothing to say. Brother Hai, those 10 years you spent on Boss Zhao's boat, all the grievances you suffered, I saw it all. But I didn't speak up for you. this is what I owe you. I accept that. Old Who, if you're looking for a way out, I happen to be putting together a fleet. We're using rock rope fishing, deep sea operations. It's hard work, but the pay is good. If you're interested, come join us. The time before the new year was the last time he appeared in my sight. It was at the entrance of the town's wet market. I was buying New Year supplies for my mom. I had just walked out of the butcher shop with a bag of ribs, and 2 stalls away, I saw him. He was squatting on the steps in the corner of the market, wearing a drab, thick cotton coat, with messy hair, holding a bowl of 3 yuan wontons. He saw me too. The moment our eyes met, his hand trembled, and the wonton soup spilled on his knees. Then he lowered his head. He stood up with his bowl, turned around, and walked away. I stood where I was, watching his hunched back disappear into the crowd. I felt nothing at all. Not satisfaction, not sympathy. There was nothing at all. After the spring began, I made a decision. Director Wang came to see me twice. The first time, it was in his office at the Fisheries Bureau. Shaolin, you are our deep-sea fishing. You're the best at it. I want you to lead the deep-sea eco-fishing cooperative. What do you mean? It means passing on your techniques to small-scale fishermen transitioning from coastal waters. Techniques for pole and line fishing and deep-sea routes, deep-sea fishing regulations, knowledge, safety. The Fishery Administration provides subsidies and policies. You provide the technology and experience. Do you think those fishermen would listen to me? You present the golden scale fish case. Who wouldn't? Zhao Chang engaged in predatory fishing. He depleted the coastal waters in just a few years. You won't get far. Your precise limiting strategy is to only take the big and leave the small. That's the way forward. If you don't lead, retail investors will have to figure it out themselves. They'll take many detours. Okay, I agree. This is our second meeting. It was the signing ceremony at the pier. There was a crowd of people. Media and officials were there. Old Joe had come too. He stood behind the crowd, grinning from ear to ear. After the signing, Master Ding arrived as well, and brought a pot of golden scale fish soup he made himself. Rest assured, Master Ding, Juxian restaurant will always be my top priority. The cooperative's output won't include golden scale fish. I'm teaching them to catch other deep-sea species. Only my own boats will touch the golden scale fish. I will never overfish. You kid. Your head puts me more at ease than your craftsmanship. Alright, drink your soup. In the first month of the cooperative's establishment, we recruited 23 members. Most of them were independent boat captains who used to fish inshore with small boats of a few hundred tons. My technical foundation is weak, but I'm diligent and willing to work hard. I divided the training into 3 parts. The first part is maritime safety. How to read a barometer. How to listen to the sea breeze to judge wind direction and changes. How to tell the watercolor and salinity. These things aren't in any textbook. It's all from my 372-page notebook. The second part one wrote down is about fishing techniques, hook rig design for longline fishing, bait selection, hooking depth, and the vortex principle, while not disrupting the fish population's ecosystem. Precisely capture the target fish species. The third business link. Master Ding helped me connect. For high-end restaurants, the cooperative's output is directly connected to the end users, bypassing intermediaries. The distribution mechanism for members is also set. The remaining subsidies will be fully distributed. Members will receive 70% of the fishing income. The cooperative will keep 30%. This will be used for equipment maintenance and technological upgrades. Bonuses will be issued based on individual output and quality ranking. I won't do what Zhao Chang did. Everyone's sweat deserves to be seen. On the day the first group of members set sail, I personally led the team, 5 boats in formation, following the route I planned, headed towards the outskirts of the Black Pepper Trench, to a new fishing ground. This isn't the core area of the golden scale fish. That's my secret stash. I don't let it go, but I know the underwater terrain and current features like the back of my hand. There are abundant wild deep-sea red snapper and horse mackerel resources. They're of excellent quality. We set sail just as dawn broke. I'm standing at the bow of the wavebreaker, with a walkie-talkie, broadcasting to the 4 boats behind me. All boats, pay attention. Check all safety equipment before entering the trench. Follow my course closely. Don't deviate. Don't panic if this is your first time in. Steer according to the markers I've set, and we'll be fine. Roger, Roger. Follow Brother Hai. The fleet entered in single file, entering the Black Pepper Trench. Old Who was steering the 3rd boat. His muffled voice came over the radio. Damn, these waves are insane. Old Who, 5 degrees to port, 321. Full rudder to starboard. Good. Straight ahead. We're through. We're through. Wow, oh my god, that was thrilling. The fleet has safely passed the reef area, arrived at the fishing grounds, hooked and pulled, made 3 trips. All 5 boats were fully loaded. After returning to port, they went straight into the cold chain trucks. That evening, the members received their first payment. The smallest boat's share was 18,000. The largest share was from Old Who's boat. The catch rate peaked at 32,000. The pier was filled with cheers. Old Joe stood on the breakwater, giving me a thumbs up. I didn't say a word, walked back into the cabin of the wavebreaker, opened my notebook, and recorded the catch data for the 5 boats today. Record everything down. I wrote a sentence. The Cooperative's maiden voyage returned to port successfully, all crew safe. Output exceeded expectations. I closed the notebook, locked it in the cabin's iron locker, and then walked up to the deck. I lit a cigarette. The sea breeze was cool. There were stars in the sky.